Good day. The state television company of Western Armenia represents all the most important events of these days. Today's broadcast, 18th pre-election Zoom of candidates for deputies of the National Assembly of Western Armenia. On the issue of the Armenians of Western Armenia, election campaign, Ashot Harutyunyan, kidnapped Armenian servicemen sentenced to 11 years and 6 months in Azerbaijan. The International Court has reaffirmed its decision to ensure free movement on the Berdzor road. The multi-layered nature of the Zorats Karer monument has been analyzed by a site survey. St. Paul-Petros church on the verge of collapse, abandoned by Turkish authorities. On July 6, 2023, the 18th Zoom meeting of the election campaign for the National Assembly of the Republic of Western Armenia was held in Armenia. The focus of the meeting was on Artsakh and Western Armenia. During the Zoom meeting, President of the Republic of Western Armenia, Armenian presented the perspective of Western Armenia regarding the current situation in Artsakh. He emphasized that they continue to fight through legal means, as Artsakh falls under the responsibility of Western Armenia both territorially and legally. One of the candidates, Armenian, stated in his speech that it is necessary to unite and strengthen, as reaching an agreement with the Turks is impossible without exerting force. In response to Armenian's speech, Armenian pointed out that Western Armenia can intervene in the resolution of the Artsakh issue, similarly to its involvement during the First Artsakh War. Wild wheat, both unilateral and bilateral subspecies of this species, can be found in the reserve as well as in the Kotayk, Ararat, and Berdzor regions, sometimes forming bushes. The species diversity is estimated to be around 90. However, efforts are being made to restore and conserve the habitats of this wheat species and subspecies. Unfortunately, the varieties and forms of this wheat variety are disappearing. Ararat wheat is considered the ancestor of Georgian Zandri wheat, and its genetic diversity has been confirmed. In Armenia, 10 subspecies of Ararat wheat have been identified, along with various forms. Ashot Harutyunyan was born in the city of Shushi on February 9, 1967. He is a historian by profession. From 1973 to 1983, he studied at boarding school number 2 in the city of Shushi. From 1983 to 1990, he studied at the Faculty of History and Law in the Stepanakert State University Institute. From 1985 to 1987, he served in the 310th Guards Artillery Unit of the Belarusian Uruchey Military District of the USSR Army. From 1987 to 1990, he studied at the Stepanakert branch of Yerevan University and graduated with honors. In 1990, he began the postgraduate course of the Era Institute of Archaeology and Ethnography and completed his thesis. However, due to the self-defense battles that started in Artsakh, he left the course incomplete and joined the self-defense forces of the Republic of Armenia during the conflict periods. Professional experience: from 1990 to 1992, he taught for 8 years as a history and geography teacher at the village school of Sardarash and Askiran region. Thanks to Haroutyunyan's efforts, the school celebrated its 10th anniversary in 1991. In 1996, he continued working in Shushi as a history and philosophy teacher at the Pedagogical Technical School. Since 1997, he has worked as the director of the Historical and Geological Museum in the city of Shushi. He is the author of around 20 different articles. In 2005, he became a member of the Shushi Archaeological Expedition and participated in the archaeological excavations in Shushi, Hunod Gorge, and Little Sığnaq. You can watch the video about Ashot Harutyunyan on our Western Armenia TV YouTube page. Armenian servicemen abducted by Azerbaijan have been sentenced to 11 years and 6 months in prison in another mock trial held in Azerbaijan. As reported by Armenian press, this information comes from Azerbaijani media. During yesterday's hearing, the prosecutor requested a 12-year imprisonment for the Armenian servicemen. Azerbaijan has levied fabricated charges against these Armenian servicemen who were kidnapped from the sovereign territory of Armenia by the Azerbaijani military. They have been accused of crossing the state border and preparing serious crimes. Armenian Armed Forces servicemen Haroutyunyan and Karen Ghazaryan were abducted by Azerbaijani saboteurs on May 26 while returning from delivering food to positions. According to the report from the Armenian Investigative Committee, an armed enemy group crossed the Armenian border and abducted the Armenian servicemen. On July 6, the International Court of Justice issued a decision regarding Armenia's request for the installation of a checkpoint in the Berdzor road, reports the Office of the Representative for International Legal Affairs. On July 6, 2023, the International Court of Justice issued a decision regarding Armenia's request to supplement its decision of February 22, 2023, to apply a provisional measure in the case of Armenia via Azerbaijan under the Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Racial Discrimination. Discrimination which was conditioned by Azerbaijan on installing a checkpoint in the Berdzor road. The court reaffirmed its decision of February 22, 2023, by which it obliged Azerbaijan to take all measures to ensure the uninterrupted movement of citizens, vehicles and goods in both directions through the Berdzor road, found that there was for a moment no need to fulfill its decision of February 22, 2023, says the message from the office. The government of Western Armenia recalls the indigenous people of Shushi forcibly displaced from the city of Shushi in the Artsakh province of Western Armenia have mandated the President of the Republic of Western Armenia, Armenak Abrahamyan, to initiate legal proceedings regarding Baku's genocidal policy. Our government has already referred Mr. Armenak Abrahamyan's case to ACHR and the judicial process has begun. It is this process which formed the basis for the above-mentioned decision of the International Court of Justice. Our government is full of hope that Artsakh and the people of Artsakh, who are already aware of their rights and legal power, will fight with us to complete victory. Hayk Malkhasyan, a researcher at the Burakan Observatory named after Viktor Hambardzumyan of the National Academy of Sciences at the Republic of Armenia and a candidate in medical sciences, described the multi-layered nature of the Zorats Karer monument during his examination of the site. The layers date back to 9000, 5823, 41 BC, and it is particularly remarkable that the monument was utilized by the same culture bearers. In general, Armenian culture, based on astronomy, calendars, and religious, is 11,000 years old as a whole and is prominently represented in the monument, said Hayk Malkhasyan. The obtained results serve as a fundamental reference base of important and genuine astronomical observational data for studies related to calendars, Armenian deities, mythology, archaeology, ethnography, and forgotten histories. The main research results have been published in the peer-reviewed scientific periodical Reports of the Burakan Observatory, the Venice-based scientific periodical Web, and the proceedings of several international conferences. St. Peter's Armenian Church, located in the Tamarza region of Kaysaria province in occupied Western Armenia, is on the verge of collapse. The church roof exhibits cracks and broken sections, while the pillars and lower parts of the church have torn sections of plaster. A resident of Tamarza expressed their thoughts on the church, stating, "The church, which was previously used as a warehouse and even as a cinema, is now abandoned. Our greatest hope is for the restoration of the church, which has lost its epitaph, and for it to become an attraction for tourists as well. The walls still preserve traces of frescoes from that period. Currently, the church, which has become a nesting place for pigeons, is at risk of collapsing at any moment due to indifference and neglect. It is worth noting that the church was constructed in 1837 and following the 1915 genocide against Armenians, it was used as a warehouse and cinema before being abandoned. Tomarza was referred to as Little Zeytun in recognition of the bravery displayed by the local Armenians. The Armenian cultural heritage of Tomarza can still be observed in both the town and its surrounding area." Thank you for your time and attention. Now the musical part, the Armenian folk song.